Hello everybody and welcome back to Gaming on Caffeine. My name is Isaac and we are back for episode 20 of Hypovolemia. Last episode we were working on getting all of the items required to start working on our tier 6 altar and creating the final 3 crystal clusters we need in order to do that. And today my plan was going to be to make all 3 of those crystal clusters, set them up, have our tier 6 altar up and running, and then maybe start working on a bit of Draconic Evolution or something like that. But it turns out that I severely underestimated how long it was going to take to make all of the nether stars required in order to get all 3 of those crystal clusters, because every single one of these nether stars requires 500,000 life points to make, and our blood orb here can only hold 10 million, which means when we have a full blood orb, we can only make 20 nether stars. We currently have, I think, about 50. We've got like 38 in the system and 11 over here in this alchemical chemistry set, so we have 49 in total, and I think we need about 108, if I'm not mistaken, in order to make the 3 remaining crystal clusters, and so we need quite a lot more nether stars to make this happen, more than 50 more, which means we're going to have to fill up our blood orb to capacity about 3 more times in order to actually get all of those nether stars. Right now it is almost at maximum capacity, it's almost at 10 million, but I can tell you now it has taken forever to get up to that point. It's going to take quite a while longer in order to get those next 2 blood orbs full so that we can make the remaining 50 nether stars that we actually need. And so what we're going to work on today is we're going to put a pin in making the tier 6 altar for now, and we're going to work on a quest line and a mod that we haven't even touched yet in the pack, and that is Thaumcraft. We haven't done any Thaumcraft whatsoever so far, and so today we're going to start out, we're going to try and get as far as we can within this quest line here. I have set up another room between episodes over to the right here, because right now we're kind of getting a little bit full on space in both this room and this room over here. This one especially is becoming very, very messy. I do need to go around and kind of clean things up a little bit, because it is a bit of a mess right now. And then of course this one is pretty much entirely dedicated to the blood altar at this point, and so I've set up another room over here, which is where we're going to do all of our Thaumcraft stuff for the time being, and probably where we're going to set up some of our Technomancy stuff as well when the time comes. But for now, let's start off and let's go for the first quest here. The first quest wants us to make an iron-capped wooden wand. Thankfully, these are super easy to make if we come over here to the AE system and type in iron-capped wooden wand into NEI here. We can see that all we need to make it is 2 of these iron caps as well as 1 stick. The recipe for iron caps has been changed a little bit. We now need 5 of these iron ore berries instead of the usual 5 iron nuggets that you need. And so if we go into here actually, because we're now importing all of our ore berries directly into the system, you can see that we have over 2,000 of these iron ore berries here, so that's not really going to be a problem whatsoever. All we need to do is grab our blood orb, quickly throw it into one of these alchemical chemistry sets. I'll use this one because I kind of want to keep that other one dedicated to making nether stars for the time being, and if we do this with 2 of them, that should get us the 2 iron caps that we need. And then the next quest in the quest line is one that's a little bit interesting. You'll see that this quest here unlocks 3 more quests, and these 3 quests are kind of different paths that you can take when doing Thaumcraft in the Hypovolemia mod pack. The first one here, called the normal way, is just as it sounds. It's the normal way that you would do Thaumcraft. You complete the quest, you hand in a Thaumonomicon, you get a Thaumonomicon back, and they're also kind enough to give you 5 aura nodes, and then you move through Thaumcraft the way that you normally would in any other mod pack. You do some research, you unlock aspects, you scan for things, and you move forward with Thaumcraft and do stuff like that. The second one is called the simple way. For this one, you hand in a Thaumonomicon, and it gives you back, again, a Thaumonomicon, a few fewer aura nodes, but it gives you an advanced deconstruction table, which makes it a lot easier to get aspects into the research table, making research a hell of a lot easier, and meaning that you can kind of move through Thaumcraft a lot quicker than you normally would. And then the final one is called the CHEATY way, and this one you hand in a normal Thaumonomicon, and you get given back a Thaumonomicon, which is in cheat sheet mode, which for those who don't know, basically when you open it, you unlock all the researchers for Thaumcraft in one go. It just unlocks everything, and I think I'm going to go with this one. Although it's called the CHEATY way, really for the purposes of this series, for the purposes of the video, I usually, when I'm doing Thaumcraft, will cut away for all of the research, because it's kind of boring to watch, and sometimes it can take quite a while. I usually have to tab out, look at little sheets, look at help sheets, and look at all kinds of stuff like that, and to link it all up and to find out how everything links together. And so, for the purposes of the series, and to make it a little bit more interesting, so we can kind of move through Thaumcraft without having to stop to do research every 5 minutes, I'm going to go with the CHEATY way. It does come with a bit of a caveat, however. You'll see here it says which will anger the gods. It kind of talks about how if you do unlock all of the research all at once, there will be some negative debuffs. For anyone who's ever used the cheat sheet, you'll know that Thaumcraft comes with like flux flu and a lot of negative debuffs that happen when you unlock way too much research way too quickly, and so that is going to be a bit of an issue, but I would rather deal with that than have to do all of the research for all of Thaumcraft for like the 50th time. If you haven't seen me do it, by by the way. I have countless series on my channel you can go and watch, in which I have done the Thaumcraft research legitimately. It's very interesting to do the first time, but once you've done it 10 times over, it gets a little bit tedious. And so, we are going to hand in this quest here for the Iron Cap Wooden Wand. We will manually detect. This, again, doesn't seem to want to work for whatever reason. So let me quickly just HQM edit. I did see some things in the forum thread about this quest not particularly working, so I'm just going to complete that using this cheat book here, because we have got the Iron Cap Wooden Wand, and it should work quite nicely. We can get rid of the cheat quest book, come back over here, and now we get to pick which of these Thaumcraft ways we want to go with. I'm going to go with the cheaty way. We do need to get ourselves a Thaumic in order for this to work, and to do that, we are going to need to get ourselves a bookshelf. I did take down all of the bookshelves that we had over here, just because I think they looked a little bit out of place, and also we had to get rid of them to put the new floor down. But for now, if we throw down our bookshelf in the middle, right-click it with an Iron Cap Wooden Wand, we get ourselves a Thaumic. Nice! And like I said, by default, all these things are not unlocked. All the researchers, as per usual, are flashing if you can do them, are grayed out if you haven't unlocked them yet. But if we go into the quest book here, hand in the quest, and claim our reward of the cheat sheet Thaumic, you'll see it's got a little glint to it. It says cheat sheet, and if we open it, boom, we unlock all of the research for all of Thaumcraft. You'll see all of these are lit up. We can go and look through anything. We can craft anything, and everything is unlocked for us. And this is going to make my life especially much, much easier. We will probably get some debuffs along the way. And you'll see down here it says you have gained permanent warp, you have gained permanent warp, you have gained warp. We've got a lot of warp for unlocking all of that. But like I said, hopefully it will make things easier going forward. So now that that is done, the next quest on the list is to make a scribing tool. And the way that we make a scribing tool, I believe, is exactly the same way that we normally make scribing tools, and that is through a feather, a glass bottle, and an ink sac here. We do not currently have any squid, but what we do have are some dye seeds here. So if we take some of those and our sigil of the green grove, what we can do is very quickly get ourselves some dye essence and then use that to craft any dye in the game, including ink sacs. Ink sacs are kind of considered as a dye because you can use them to make like black wool and stuff like that. So let's quickly throw down the crop sticks here, stick down our dye seeds, do something like this. I think we need 3 in order to make this happen. So let's take 3 of those. Let's head back over to the crafting terminal, and then I think that's pretty much everything we need to make an ink sac here, like so. We can then take that, combine it up with a feather and a glass bottle. I don't think we have a glass bottle, so I'll make 3 real quick, and then do something like that. Let's throw you in there. We did have some spare glass bottles, but that gets us a scribing tool. And now, if we go back into the quest book here, we can claim the reward. That gets us a silverwood sapling. I believe there is another quest right here that wants us to hand in 1 set of silverwood leaves, so I'm fairly certain for that. We just need to grow a silverwood tree and then shear the leaves, quite possibly. There is also a quest here to make the table. We're probably going to work on this one because that's going to allow us to get the research table as well as the arcane crafting table. We're not really going to need the research table for anything in particular, but we've got the scribing tools. We might as well put it down, and we do have to make it nonetheless. But I think, actually, if I'm not mistaken, in order to make this, we might require nothing whatsoever. I thought that might have required some great wood. I think it does in Feed the Beast Infinity Evolved Expert Mode, which is why I probably got confused there. But if we make one of those, we can come back in here, claim our reward of 2 extra tables, and if we take all of those into our new Thaumcraft area and put them down somewhere like over here, we can set up a research table as well as an arcane crafting table, and all we got to do is right-click with our wand to get the arcane crafting table, and then right-click with the scribing tools to get the research table, and you'll notice that, again, we're full up on aspects. We've got all the aspects we can need, and we're not really going to use this research table for anything, I don't think, throughout the course of this Let's Play. So now, all we need to do, I don't know if you can bone meal the silverwood saplings here. So what I'm going to try doing for now is just stick down a piece of dirt in the middle here, stick down our silverwood sapling. Can I make this grow? I don't think we can force it to grow, unfortunately. I think it kind of just has to do it on its own. So I'm going to leave that there, wait for that thing to grow. Once it has grown, we can go ahead and hand in the quest and get some more great wood and silverwood saplings going. Whilst we're waiting for that, because we need a great wood sapling, by the way, in order to get the gold banded great wood wand. But whilst we're waiting for that, this quest up here requires all of the shards to be handed in. It wants to make 1 of every single shard in the game, including the balance shard at the end there. And the way that we make all of these shards is in the alchemical chemistry set. All of the elemental ones, so air, fire, water, and earth, are all made using their respective essence from magical crops. So, you know, air essence, fire essence, water essence, earth essence. Order shards are made using oak leaves. Endrip shards are made using TNT. And then finally, the balance shard is made in the crucible, which we'll get to in just a second. And so, what I'm going to do now is I think we do have all of the seeds available in the AE system, because I did do a few of the quests in the fertilization quest line between episodes as well. And I actually unlocked pretty much all of these up here. So we do now have, I think, think possibly all of these. If I type in air, we already have some air seeds. I can take those. I think we should have the fire seeds, if I'm not mistaken, as well. We'll take those. Earth seeds we should also have. We could take those. We've actually already got the earth essence, so we don't really need that at all. And then finally, water seeds. I think we'll also have a ton of water essence already. We do. And so what I'm going to do now, guys, I'm going to go away. I'm going to wait for the silverwood tree over here to grow into a silverwood tree. I'm going to get all of the items that we need to make all of the shards over here, and I'll be back in a second. And a little while later, the silverwood tree has finally grown. I did put down a little bit more dirt around it because I realized that silverwood trees do take up more than like a 1x1 block of space for the wood. And so I put down like a 9x9 area here with some extra dirt around the edges, and it seems to have worked just fine. So that gets us the silverwood leaf that we need. We can go back in here and hand that in to unlock a few more quests on this side. And then I also have almost all of the shards we need to actually get all of those. I think I should also have the entropy shards. Oh, I didn't take them out. We can grab those from in here. And then finally, the last one that we need is the balance shard, and the way that we make that is through some crucible crafting with Thaumcraft. So if we come back over here to our ME crafting terminal, we need to get ourselves a normal cauldron. We can do that by crafting up some iron like so. We're then going to need some kind of heat source, so let's grab ourselves a bucket and see if we can get some lava. We do still have quite a nice little backlog over here, so we'll grab that, bring it over here whilst eating some apples real quick to ensure that we do not die. And then for now, let's put this down. I think just like right about here should be fine. We'll get rid of this. Am I on like slow mode? We'll put it on slow mode, I guess. We'll put that there. We'll put down our lava bucket and we'll stick the cauldron right above it. And to turn it into a Thaumcraft crucible, all we have to do is grab our iron capped wooden wand, give it a quick right click, and that then becomes a crucible. We can put this back into here for now. And now all we need to do is quickly grab ourselves a bucket worth of water. I think we should have an unlimited water source somewhere. Do we have? Yeah, we do. It's over here. I'll take some from there. I don't want to take it from here because it kind of messes up the system a little bit. Although, to be fair, this thing is not currently working because that chest is just full of junk. We should really set up some kind of system that pulls that stuff either into the AE system or filters out the bad stuff and kind of throws it away into the void, because we don't really need all the stuff that is in that chest. But once you've thrown water into the crucible, eventually you'll start to see some bubbles popping up at the top of the crucible like so. That means it is now ready to receive whatever you want to put in it. And in order to make ourselves a balance shard, we need one of every aspect followed by a different shard. So for example, this one here, this little recipe, shows fire, water, earth, order, and a predator all being thrown into the cauldron and then adding air. Finally, we could do that by just throwing in one of each of these shards one at a time. So if we do something like this, we could throw in one order, we can throw in one entropy, we can throw in one water. Oh, I only want to throw in one of those. We can throw in one. Whoa, it's throwing in both. I don't know quite why. We'll throw in one earth, one fire, and then finally one air. And that should give us the balance shard. Nice. We did take quite a bit of damage there, and there is quite a few aspects left in the top. You can see at the top there, we still have 6 Predator, 6 Vitreous, and 2 Aqua left in the cauldron. But for now, all we need to do is just go ahead and break this. I kind of don't want to do it with the lava still there, so let me quickly get rid of that just so we don't lose the cauldron. And there we go. We can pick that back up. We can put it back down, and now it is ready to do some more crafts in the future if we so wish. Let's just quickly, again, get that back down so the lava isn't flowing everywhere. And that is another quest complete. Nice. That got us some silver seeds. Not quite sure if we're going to need those anytime soon. But for now, let me just kind of clear my inventory out a little bit from all this junk that we have just received. And let's take a look at the next quest in the Thaumcraft quest book here. There are a few. The one on this side wants us to make the thermometer. This one is actually fairly easy to do. If we type in thermometer here in NEI, we can see to make that, all we need is 2 gold, 1 glass, and any 2 of the shards. So if we go ahead and just craft that up in the system, that should work fairly well. Apparently, we have no gold whatsoever, but we do have a bunch of golden blocks. So if we do something like that, we can make ourselves the thermometer. Nice. We can then take that. That is another quest done. And then the next quest in this quest line is to make the goggles of revealing, which will probably actually come in pretty useful pretty quickly. So to make these, we need to do it in the arcane crafting table, and we need to do it with 4 leather, 2 gold, and 2 of these thermometers. So let me quickly grab another one of those real quick. We've already got the first one. We can grab the second one fairly easily. We're then going to need 4 leather, which again, we should have lying around. We almost have enough to actually make that, but we don't have enough cowardsons. So let me quickly go and grab a bit more of that. And there we go. We now have all of the leather. And finally, all we need is a little bit of gold. So again, let's go ahead and take 2 ingots of that, run all this over to the arcane crafting table. I'm not quite sure if we have any aspects in our wand. We currently do not. And so what we're going to have to do, I didn't realize we actually got a thermometer, I'm guessing, for completing the quest to make one. Did it give us a second one? It did. Okay, so we didn't need to make that 3rd thermometer, but we now have 1 spare, just in case, which is actually probably going to come in useful in just a second. But for now, if we throw all these in here, you'll see that we need 5 of each aspect within our wand wand in order to make this work. Right now we don't have it, and it says insufficient V, and so if we go back to the first quest we completed today, which is the one to make an iron capped wooden wand, you'll see we were given an aura node as a reward, so we can take that aura node and place it down somewhere. For now, I'll just place it down, I guess, like right about here, and if we go ahead and scan this, we can see it contains 49 Ignis and 24 air, and then what we can do is actually pull some of those aspects out of the aura node and into our wand, and then use those aspects to craft some stuff over here in the crafting table. Now you'll notice we still don't have enough, and so what we're going to have to do is go and find some aura nodes out in the wild. And so what I'm going to do now, guys, I'm going to go away, I'm going to try and find enough aura nodes to get this wand full on V, and I'll be back in a second. And a little while later, now that we have enough V in our wand, we can make ourselves the Goggles of Revealing. Nice! So I did run into a bit of an issue whilst trying to get enough V into my wand, and that issue is that aura nodes are disabled in this mod pack by default. I thought they weren't, I thought I'd seen some before whilst wandering around, but apparently aura node generation is disabled by default in the Hypovolemia mod pack, and so the only way to get V into your wand, apart from the aura nodes that you are given or aura nodes that you create later on down the line, is by killing mobs. So if we come over here, you'll see right now we're 19, 0, 19, 3, 2, 11. Those are the numbers of V that we have in the top left there. If we kill some of these mobs here and then look at our wand again, you'll see that most of those will have gone up by a fair little bit, and we should have a nice amount of V in, well, I say a nice amount, we should have a little amount of V in all of those, and thankfully we do have this mob spawner, which is working quite nicely, and if we look again now, you'll see that most of them are pretty full up, and we're pretty much good to go to make some more stuff, so that's how we're going to get all of our V, pretty much until we get towards aura node crafting and stuff like that, with Technomancy. But now if we look back into the quest book, we have completed this quest, we can claim the reward. We have also completed the quest for the Crucible, we can claim that reward. And the next quest that I want to work on is this one over here, a better wand. This one wants us to make a golden banded Greatwood wand. And to make this, we're going to need 2 golden wand caps as well as a Greatwood wand. If we go ahead and type it into NEI real quick, we can see 2 golden caps and 1 Greatwood rod. This, by the way, is the debuffs I'm talking about when we took the cheaty way. We do occasionally get debuffs like this. We've got Sunscorned 4 for 4 minutes. Jeez, that is not a nice. That means everything's like super bright, like the contrast is just ridiculously high on everything. It doesn't look great, I'm not gonna lie. But what I'm gonna do is we're gonna make these. To make golden caps, you have to make these in the metal caster. To do that, we of course need to get a mold. The mold is made using a soft wand cap mold that's smelted. To get that, we need a blank soft mold and another iron cap. So if we quickly run back over to our AE system here and grab some more of these iron ore berries, we can take those, craft ourselves up another iron cap. Okay, so a little while later, I decided to wait out the Sunscorn debuff that we had, so now the world looks normal again, and it's not ridiculously bright and like high in contrast or anything like that. So we're gonna go ahead and make ourselves this blank soft mold. We can then combine that blank soft mold up with an iron cap to get ourselves the iron cap mold, I think. Is that not how that is done? Let's have a look here real quick. Oh, we need to do it in the arcane crafting table. Okay, so let's take both of those, run these over to the arcane crafting table. We do have enough V in our one now to go ahead and craft that up like so. We can then take this, and now if we come over, oh, we were given golden caps. Why were we? What were we given golden caps for? We did a quest apparently that unlocked some golden caps somewhere. Which quest did we do? Oh, it was the default quest. So the default quest gave us some golden caps. So I guess all that we need to do is, we don't really need this one cap mold, but we'll probably need it later on down the line and to make some other molds. For example, if we want to make a Thaumium mold, I'm assuming that is made in the same way, possibly. But now all we need is to get ourselves the Greatwood core. And so if we come back over here, grab one of the Greatwood saplings that we got earlier on for making the Silverwood tree, we can stick this down on, again, a piece of dirt. I think these ones you can grow with bone meal, quite possibly. Maybe not. And there we go, we have ourselves a Greatwood tree. I don't think you can actually, like, bone meal it. You can't use the bone meal effect, but I think by having the sigil active whilst near the Greatwood sapling, I think that does increase the speed at which it grows. Even if it doesn't, it is now done. We have this tree, so if we grab a few of those logs, we can come on back over to our arcane crafting table, do something like this, get ourselves the Greatwood rod, and we can then combine that up with the golden caps here, and we are missing just a little bit of order, and we are good to go on making the gold-banded Greatwood wand. So we kill a few of these. I'm hoping that will fill it up fairly quickly. I think that's enough. I think we only needed like 9 point something in order to make that work. We did 9.9. That is now done, and we now have a higher capacity one which can hold up to 50 of every single aspect, double what this original wooden one has over here. And so what I'll probably do between episodes is go ahead and like kill a bunch of mobs, try and get this thing nice and full. But for now, let's take a look again in this quest line, and there are 3 quests that we can currently make. This one is not working again. We're gonna have to do /HQM edit. For some reason reason, there is a bit of a bug with the wand quests. So we go ahead and just submit that one, make it so that it is done. We can then go ahead and once again get rid of this quest, but we don't need you anymore. That one is now done. For that, we get ourselves some of these knowledge fragments, and then the next quest in that line is to make some arcane pedestals. This also links in with the Essentia distillation, which is this quest over here. And I also figured out why we were given silver seeds, and that is because in order to make quicksilver here, the way that you make it is by putting a block of silver into a tier 3 or higher blood altar, and that will get you a piece of quicksilver. And so at some point, we are going to have to set up some kind of silver farming, or maybe just do it manually, to get a couple of silver ingots to make the piece of quicksilver for this quest. It is a dead-end quest, so it doesn't go anywhere. We don't necessarily need to do it at any time soon. But with that, guys, I'm going to end this episode of Hypovolemia there. As always, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below, and I will see you guys next time.